I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Please.
No, we don't mind.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you...
So funny. I was kind of watching some coverage and I see like him give this this conversation. I said, "Oh, that's the finalization of the baitiness." That's what he really, because on the stage he kind of communicated at the end, but I guess he's kind of really irritated by the black men, so he really baited us well, he's kind of chastising men, but bait means that he's communicating to you as if you are an actual prey to be devoured. You're so weak. You can't really fend for yourself. So, for me, in an intellectual way, you say you take the bait, meaning that you bite onto that hook and you let it pull you up, and then you eat everything on the hook. Everything that the fisher rod, you end up eating the actual person if you're the big giant fish and stuff. But for me, I say if I'm intellectually honest and up to the task, then I'm able to kind of, how can I say, communicate my point of view even against a high intellectual person like President Obama that's disguising his intellect as in manipulation and propaganda and mind control. So he's not really trying to have an intellectual conversation with you. He's really trying to make you do what he wants you to do, and he's trying to shame you into doing that. So for me, I've decided that I'll take on the debate. And, Tombstone, when Doc Holliday came and a guy was acting like he's a great gunslinger, and Doc Holliday is saying like, no, I'm, nobody could beat me. But if you think you can, if you're trying to bait to see that you're a good gunslinger and you want to take on to see if I'm a gunslinger, I'll be your Huckleberry. Yeah, I'll be your Huckleberry. I'll take the bait. So we're in intellectual communication. We're gunslinging with each other right now. That's what me and President Obama is doing in these 3 podcast episodes of President Obama baiting the black man. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So, yeah, I know. You're not supposed to talk about the great men, President Obama, no matter what. But we all going through our stuff that we going through our lives, and it's not smart to elevate people more than you elevate yourself. And you sure enough don't elevate somebody over yourself. And even in these last hard months that I'm going through before everything goes well from all the hard work that I did over the last 6 years, I'm even willing to not allow another human being to be valued over me, because you do a disservice to them and you do a disservice to yourself, because your stability allows for you to have strength enough to help other people. Okay, so that's he doesn't even want to sugarcoat his conversation with black men. So let's get into it.
My understanding.
Okay. I'm going to
go ahead and just speak some truths.
Okay. I'm sorry about it sticking, guys. I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to wait until it catches up with me, but it's running slow.
You don't mind, please.
Yes.
Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work.
That is so crazy. That is so crazy. Look. I mean, look. You gotta use it, man. You gotta use the black card. You got to use the black card. How do you not use the black card? Somebody that went with you, ignorant black spooks, which she had to deal with that stuff. Her father was a professor of economics, a powerful professor of economics, where he was making over hundreds of thousands of dollars. And your mother, she was like a high functioning medical like biochemist, and she's making big money herself. They try to make it seem like she was very broke, but if you go to the neighborhood or you go research the neighborhood that Kamala and her sister grew up with, her single mother, it was very high end. Very high end. So, but his thing is, well, if you do your research and you find out that she ain't really in the hood with you niggas, but at the same time, she did go to school with you niggas and claim your sorority. So she's more black than you are. She's more in it than you are. She's part of the clique. And y'all got the nerve to vote against a person that looks like you? Smells like you? This thing is ridiculous. Y'all gotta listen to that. It's so funny. Look at that. I'm not saying don't use the black card. I'm saying use it.
Who grew up like you, knows.
She ain't grew up like us. Trust me. There's an anomaly of people that grew up like how Kamala grew up, and majority of black Americans, they'll never experience that kind of stable upbringing, even with a single mom. That's making 3 times the amount of the single mom in the hood. Okay, so this is not technically accurate and truthful, but I get the black vote. I get him using them. He's triggering the black people. How dare you? On that alone, because she's a nigga, you vote for her. Excuse my language for the white people that's watching this, but I'm articulating the logic and the bluntness of what he's saying and taking that astute statesman, great oratorial lawyer speak away from him. Okay? Let me let the video catch up. I'm sorry. I'm struggle streaming right now.
And say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got help here, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting down?
He ain't talking to you, you dumb spook.
You know,
You stupid. I ain't gonna sit out. He ain't talking to no jigaboo that's sitting in front of him licking on his balls. He ain't talking to you, you idiot. He know he got you, you dummy. He's talking to these other black men out there that's got the nerve to vote against them, and you vote for a racist Ku Klux Klan member that shows that he's a Ku Klux Klan member and he's a racist against black men. That's who he's talking to. He's talking to the other black men that might come across this video, you dumb idiot. He ain't talking to you. He ain't talking to somebody that's sitting down, lowered to his balls, licking his balls, and then when he starts to like say, "Hey, y'all gonna sit this out? You ain't gonna vote for her? You gonna vote for him?" And you the dumbest, ignorant. Boy, I'm trying not to cuss and say no crazy stuff, but you the dumbest idiot on there talking about, "Oh, I ain't sitting out." No, duh. You a tent hut. You right in place. You tasting that Obama ball, and you loving that right ball that he's got in front of your face. You love it. You a weak man. Boy, I tell you. You need to come into my comments, click my link at the bottom. I need to talk to you, man. We need to do a podcast, at least a phone call, or just you know what you should do? Go to AntonDaniels.com and get on his panel and tell him how you feel. I'm pretty sure for us Detroiters, Anton Daniels, he'll take care of it. He'll take care of it. Because this is crazy. It ain't me. I ain't sitting out. He know he got your vote, idiot. He ain't even communicating. He ain't doing this for you. He talking to people like me. But he can't talk to people like me because I know everything about President Obama. I know everything about his power and where he at and why he is where he at right now. Okay? And he want to know what's wrong with me. Am I my Uncle Tom? Am I a true born loved Uncle Tom? He want to know because he's Uncle Tom, Uncle Tom, Uncle Tom. He ain't talking to you. Ball liquor.
because of Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses.
Ain't nobody making no excuses, man. Ain't nobody making no reasons. Ain't no reasons. That it's a woman, dog. And it's you and it's Democrats and it's other black terrible people that has destroyed our society, has destroyed our culture. We done killed so many of our people. We done divided so much as a culture and black men and black women off of the total disrespect of black men. It's so out of control that we got to take this steering wheel now. We got to take this steering wheel. And one of the directions we going is away from slave owners and people that want to keep that mentality into the people. Nobody's worshiping Trump. He so happened to be the number one person that's about to fight the people we want him to fight. You know who he fighting? Our government. He's fighting our DOJ, our CIA, our FBI, our IRS. He's fighting you disgusting, despicable, degenerate assholes. We are very clear why we're voting for him. Very clear. We ain't got no excuses. We know what's up.
I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Only because out of the 40 to 50 years that women felt like they want to be boss babes, they want to go to work, they want to take on the thing of being the equal value in the household as a man, and their husbands, they don't want to be at home being housewives no more. They don't want to be doing whatever they doing in their society, coming home, bring it, put it into the man's hands, and then let the man decide what's best for the family. Just once they decided that that's not the way they want to live or advocate for the stability of a family, once they decide to take on that, you're a breadwinner now. You have taken on the decision that you want to be equaled up to being a breadwinner. And what are you guys doing now? What is women doing now? They're bitching and moaning and complaining about being breadwinners. Okay? About taking on some of the heat. You go 4 decades being with people and you may have to take on 10 years and you're bitching and moaning about it. Okay? That's the problem. So if we gotta start putting men back into the place that we should have been in, and I blame myself too, that we should have always kept the leadership and kept the dominance of what we were doing and provide the way we were supposed to provide, and make sure that we didn't allow any room of the perception that we would have support and help in that endeavor. If we want us to take back in control and get in our rightful place and do what we rightfully supposed to do, one of those things we have to do is make great decisions. And making great decisions is understanding that women don't like the burden of masculinity. They don't like it. So to ask a woman to be over other men, come on, dude. That's not even logical. But the trick is to make you think it's logical. That's the trick. Okay? To fool you, to make you think it's logical. Did my stream go? I'm still going? Yeah, okay. I don't know, guys. I don't see my, Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry about that.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths.
Speak some truths. So let me go back.
Getting our backs this entire.
There we go.
In your family. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to. Okay,
I'm still got to go back. I'm
I
sorry.
think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that.
No, I just gave you mine, and it's pretty logical.
And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time.
That's true, but it has made us weaker for it. And we didn't have the cushion that you have, Mr. President Obama. So it actually made us a whole lot weaker in major situations that we could have extreme dominance on. And even when we actually did, like people like me, I'm a dominant guy and I accomplish some big stuff. But sometimes I'll even look at the option I can lean on to my woman, or maybe the women in my community, just because I need that support because how much of a risk I took. And that may not be the best situation for a long-term situation. So our mindset is supposed to be in where we wouldn't even risk ourselves to even lean on them. We would have just tried to figure out how to never do that. And that's the rule. That's the rules of the game. And in the worst stuff that's happening and the actual things that make it for a bad outcome is that one moment in your life that you decide to lean on them, that you're destroying relationships, marriages, all kind of stuff by doing that. So even though you got a point that a lot of women has helped us out and backed us up, but boy, it has destroyed the relationship too. It has destroyed the actual interaction between men and women, and especially black men and women in the community, that you got broken homes and you got messed up situations now just because he ain't leveled up fast enough. He wasn't tight enough and he using me up and stuff like that. And it's just, that ain't, it is better for men to have always kept the rings of the hams, always said, hey, we don't got this amount of money, or we going through this kind of time, or this kind of business structure needs to be risked on, and we need to take our expenses down to this and don't do nothing else. And having that dominance and that masculinity and that chauvinist way onto your household is a frowned about thing. So by us not doing that, we have made a society that is not good. And only way you're going to be able to put this society in our culture as black men and black women and the black families or black people in relationships and stuff, only way you're going to put it back to where a black man or even a man will want it to be, where he can say this is a good household, this is a good family, this is a good union. He's going to have to take control. He's going to have to dominate, and to push yourself to dominate, you might have to blow everything up, then do it. So yeah, I don't want to hear about how much support we have for the women in our lives and stuff like that, because by the time we need it, it's probably a little bit too brutal that we needed it for, and we probably should have had it right from the get-go, right from the jump. So in that situation, we have to be able to articulate that women don't want to lead. They want us to lead, and they want us to have enough respect for the long-term factor that we will always lead. So that's the problem there. Maybe good for a company, maybe good for a household, not good for every single man's way of looking at the world. And so happen to be right now, she's in the way of our money, because all we care about right now is money. We just got to where we needed to be in 2020. We were just starting to have the exchange of economics and power, economical power that we've been looking for decades. And we just got it in 17, 18, 19, and a piece of 2020. And then we got 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. That's like really, really, it's almost like putting a gun to our head to make us be broke and weakened. And it's like we spent the last 3 to 4 years, and the whole mindset of Kamala and the things that they supported and everything was there to weaken man. And dude, if I got to do another 4 years of that, or just the company, or how I'm trying to interact with other businessmen and everything, we're in trouble, and that ain't gonna work out too well. So I know exactly why I'm voting for Trump.
They've been raising us and working and having our backs,
and I'm still got my mama's back. I still got my sister's back. I still got the people, my women in my life, and I'm fighting to do more for them on a day-to-day basis. Kamala ain't my mama.
When we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody?
Yeah, they ain't nobody gonna sit out. They go support Trump. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. It's all emotional inaccuracy, but I get it. I get the trolling the black man and using the black car. A black man using the black car on a black man. So it's hilarious.
Who has a history of denigrating you? Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because
nobody think that Trump has a sign of strength because how he communicates, and he just fighting the battle. And him actually denigrating us, you got to put that in context, okay? Because I don't see nothing that Trump ever did that denigrated black men or black people, period. I see how you guys perceive it as high intellectual Ivy League propagandist science, political science major, and political civil rights attorneys. I see how you may perceive it and how you may manipulate and reach and actually turn the psychological profile of it and rage psychological warfare on how people should perceive what he says, what he does, and what his past is. But I don't, just Central Park Fives, I don't see that situation as a denigration of black man. I don't see his wanting his tenants for an apartment complex to make 3 times the value of their rent per month. I don't see that as racist against black people. You get what I'm saying? It's just somewhat black people fell into that situation. But look, he was trying to run a stable, successful company, and you got to have some conversation about, okay, what's gonna make the most probable outcome that we get rent on time every month consistently. Make sure that the person make 3 times the amount. That way, for they groceries, they shopping or whatever, they got 2/3 of their money to mess with that stuff, but they're not gonna interrupt. They're not gonna interrupt the actual paying their rent. That's the concept of that, okay? But he knows how dumb y'all are, and y'all not thinking about it like that. So, and I'm just giving you guys just a quick conversation on what he's talking about, because he's not mentioning it. He's just throwing out these boogeyman words and boogeyman. You gonna support a guy that think you a ignorant spook? You like, dude, this is you the racist right now. But I understand you got to use the black car. So you got to use the black car on a black man using a black car on a black man, or an African American man using the black car on a black man. I get it.
That's what being a man is? Putting women down?
No, women put themselves down, and if we communicate about their behavior or some stuff they do or how they act or what's important to them, and they boss babe mentality, if that's what they communicate about, and then we point it out to them and we put them into actual columns. Nobody denigrating women, they just point out their value. And yes, if somebody is brave enough to do Miss America, to actually judge the specimen of women, then yes, you can't shame him. He took on the job of saying, okay, this is how you evaluate the best specimens of a woman. That's what the NFL does for men. That's what the NBA does for men. That's what the track does for men. That's what the Olympics do. They get the best of the best of the specimen of women and the best of the specimen of men, and they judge them. Okay? That's what goes on. And if America beauty pageants, you got to do that. So if that's the culture of the situation that he in, it ain't denigrating women. It's just taking on the actual job that somebody got to do.
That's what being a man is? Putting women down? Who has a history of denigrating you? Because you think that's a sign of strength? Because that's what being a man is? Putting women down?
No, you think that's what being a man is, or you think that's what men think being a man is, but that's you. That's your ideology. That's what you kind of can master in your prepping ideological ways. That's how men think, that putting out or judging women or whatever the hell you thinking of. I don't know. I'm trying to get into President Obama's head, and that ain't what we saying that being a man is from your concept or your actual your perception of what we think that he's doing is what we think that being a man is. No, that's you. That's how you think. And we ain't in your head. You ain't in your head. You need to get into ours. And that ain't what we thinking.
That's not acceptable. That's not it. This shouldn't even be a question. I'm going to go.
Okay, so maybe I got to get some more, because it was some more stuff that he was saying, I guess. That's interesting. Okay, guys, look, I just wanted to come on and kind of give a third part about my feelings about what he said in this little, his tongue lashing to black men to make it complete what his perception is and how we should be thinking. And I think this is a good presentation to what he really feels about black men and the choices that they're making and everything like that. But look, my name is Daris D. McKinney. This is Individual Perspective Podcast. And look, y'all, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I ain't no sheep. I don't kind of do what President Obama want me to do. You know what I mean? My thoughts and I even my father and stuff, and my family is hardcore Obama supporters and Democrats and everything. And I don't even, I don't care what they think. I don't care how they ideology is. And maybe on election day, I'll tell them about my podcast and they could come on and debate me and fire up and kind of have some very testy situations, because I know it might get really heated, you know what I mean? But at the same time, that's how I feel. Then look, I'm been very logical about this, and thank you, President Obama, for your intellectual perception of how black men think. And I have taken the bait to bite on that hook to give my opinion to you and articulate myself to what your perception was to what mine really is. Because I got an individual perspective, and my individual perspective says I got to make sure I do what's right for me and my family right now. And majorly, I can't do another 4 years like the past 4 years. Not even for the first woman president. No way. No way. And supposed black woman president, okay? No, thank you. I'm not risking my finance. I'm not risking the hard work I've done and how much economically we need to level up and the judgment of leveling up. I'm not risking that on this little woman's thing. And look, you know, I don't think Trump people are wise to the tactics that you guys, the Democrats, are doing, and to make sure that they don't let your tricks and the things that you guys got for safety measures play out. I just don't think that they wise. So it's maybe a high probability that Trump won't win. But I'm not going to be a factor to not making him win. I'm going to place that vote and shade in Donald J. Trump for President of the United States of America 2024. Peace out.